Welcome back, Sports Tonight, on your award-winning sports-loving channels, television. I told you, when we get back, you need to fasten your seatbelt. So have you done that? Let's go to Washington, D.C. Sonny Young is standing by. And as usual, he's fired up to give us the latest updates coming from our world of sports. Sonny, if you're ready, we're ready for you. Good evening. Welcome to Sports Tonight.
Good evening, Austin. My seatbelt is fastened, and I am looking forward to another chat on Sports Tonight. Great to be back on the show.
Always a delight to have you. Sonny, before we get into the NBA, I see President Trump is having so much interest for the 2026 World Cup. Sonny, that was really heartwarming.
Yes, he did cause a little controversy this week, Austin, with a tweet that he made urging the American allies to support the USA's bid for the 2026 World Cup, and caused a bit of controversy. But in Denmark, in Copenhagen, on Thursday, the U.S. soccer top official, Carlos Cordero, was there, along with top officials from Mexico and Canada, to promote their bid, as well as Morocco. Morocco is the lone African candidate. And right now, Austin, I think Morocco is getting quite a bit of support for their bid. I think it's going to be an interesting vote come June 13th.
That's right. We're monitoring everything. It will be good, Sonny, if your country wins it. But if Morocco also wants it, let's just keep the game going. Sonny, let's talk about the NBA and the playoffs. Interesting times we're having. I know there are some matches tonight. Sonny, tell me, what are the latest updates?
Well, we have 8 teams left in the race for the NBA trophy, Austin. On Thursday night, early Friday morning in Nigeria, we'll have games in Boston, Massachusetts, and Toronto, Canada. In Boston, the Celtics will take on the Philadelphia 76ers. The Celtics won the opening game in that series, 117-101, so they're up 1-0. All of these series are best of 7.
That's right.
And in Toronto, the Raptors are at home against LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. LeBron had a great game in the opener, 45 points. And they won by 1 point in overtime, 113-112. So they took away the home court advantage right there, Austin. And interesting series, both of them. I think they're going to be close. The Boston, Philadelphia, and Toronto, Cleveland series. LeBron, of course, wants to make it back to the NBA Finals. So we'll see. And the other 4 teams that are left, they'll be in action on Friday night. The Houston Rockets, they're in a tough series with the Utah Jazz. Utah will host the Rockets in Game 3 on Friday night. That series is tied at 1 game each.
That's right.
And the defending champion, Golden State Warriors, they're on the road against the New Orleans Pelicans. Warriors won the first 2 games in that series. One of the great stories from that series, Austin,
yes,
Steph Curry. Steph Curry came back just the other night in Game 2. He looked terrific, Austin.
Like he never left.
I mean, you would never know he'd been sidelined for almost 6 weeks. 28 points in 27 minutes of playing time.
That's Steph for you right there, Sonny. Class, they say, is permanent. And that's what Steph Curry is giving to us. I never left, he said. Take that just to say welcome back. It's all good. Sonny, who is making history in the NBA tonight?
Well, let me throw a name out for your viewers, Austin. He's from Serbia, Igor Kokoskov. Igor Kokoskov, he is 46 years old. He's from Serbia.
Okay.
He becomes the NBA's first ever coach born and raised outside North America.
Wow.
The Phoenix Suns hired him just over the past 24 hours. He's currently an assistant coach with the Utah Jazz. So he's going to make history with the Suns. And just if we look at the big picture, Austin, Kokoskov, I think, is really part of this internationalization of the NBA. I know a name we've talked about on your show before, Masai Ujiri.
That's right.
From Nigeria. He is the team president of the Toronto Raptors from Nigeria, only 47 years old. We're seeing more and more international players in the leagues. And I think Kokoskov, Ujiri, players like Joel Embiid, they're all part of the international nature now of the NBA, which I think is great for the game.
Awesome.
You know, soccer, of course, is already a very international sport with players from all over the world. And I think we're seeing the same now in the top levels of basketball.
That's right. And these international players, they're talking to themselves, they're working with each other to have an impact in the NBA that can be remembered. So that's a very good one coming from Kokoskov and, of course, Masai Ujiri, the president of the Toronto Raptors club. Sonny, you talked about Isaac Dogbe last week. What do you have about him tonight?
Well, I want to give him a shout out, Austin. Isaac Dogbe looked really, really impressive. He took the WBO super bantamweight title from Jesse Magdaleno of the United States. Dogbe he really looked impressive. I watched the fight. He stalked Magdaleno, especially in the later rounds. He really connected to the body. And finally, he basically took out Magdaleno in the 11th round. He knocked him down a couple times in round 11. The referee stepped in and stopped the fight. But I think Isaac Dogbe is really an African fighter that we're going to really have to watch closely in the years to come. Only 23 years old, Austin. Wow. And I think because of that, he made history for Ghana. Youngest ever world champion from Ghana.
Awesome.
You know, Ghana has produced fighters like Bazooka, Quarte, and Professor Nelson, Azuma Professor Nelson, and other great fighters. But, you know, Dogbe really made a great name for himself, and he impressed a lot of boxing fans here in the States.
I can imagine, and he impressed Sonny because you sat there watching him, and you said to yourself, this guy will be a world champion, and he's already won.
Yeah, you know, he fought at the 2012 Olympics in London 6 years ago. He didn't win a medal for Ghana, but he has really stepped up since he turned professional, Austin. And I think we're going to have to we have to give a shout out for Isaac Dogbe from Ghana.
Okay, Isaac Dogbe, shout out to you and the good things you're doing for boxing in Ghana and, of course, Africa in general. Starting before I let you go, Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua, a lot of money talks going on here and there. What are you hearing? Is that fight coming on soon?
Well, one quote from Deontay Wilder this week, Austin. He was actually down in his home state of Alabama, and he was serving as the honorary pace car driver in a NASCAR race. So totally different sport. He told reporters that he's offered Team Anthony Joshua, he's offered them $50 million to fight him. And he says Joshua has to take that deal, Austin, but I don't think he has yet. I don't think he has. So big money.
I know.
Big money being talked about.
Big money, you know, and Anthony Joshua, and at the end, they are not moved. Anthony Joshua says, it's okay, but show me the money.
So we'll wait and see. I hope the fight takes place in 2018, but if not, I think it'll be early in 2019, Austin.
Whenever, however, Sonny will hear. We'll wait till we must see that fight. Thank you so much, Sonny Young, for your time. Thank you.
Always a pleasure, Austin. Thanks for having me on Sports Tonight once again.
Okay, so that's it. Our friend from the Voice of America, Sonny Young, giving us updates coming from the NBA. And, of course, we talked about Isaac Dogbe, who has become the youngest world champion to have ever come out of Ghana. And, of course, he gave us updates as regards Kokoskov. That's the name you should keep. He's also a record breaker, becomes the first NBA coach that was raised outside the United States of America. Of course, you know, in our world of sports, impossible is nothing. Let's just run through some results from the National Handball League, and then we'll join the technical director who is standing by in our studio in Abuja. But let's just run through the results. Day 7 results for the National Handball League. For the men, Sokoto Rima defeated Owena Kings. It was so close. Look at that scoreline, 25-24. Nigeria Prisons lost to Plateau Vipers by 35-24 points. Kada Stars 25, Niger United 25. Yes, that's some competition I'm talking about right there. Tied. Kano Pillars 25, D Defenders 26. That was also very, very close. Day 7 results are for the women. Kada Queens 33, Abia Valence 24, Safety Babes 36, Plateau Peacocks 27. Imo Grasshoppers had to bounce back from their loss of yesterday by defeating Edo Dynamos 36-19. They were dominant. Owena Queens also lost to Defender Babes 32-18, while Seasider Babes ran over Katsina Queens 36-18 points. National Handball League, let's take a look at day 8 fixtures. That's one we'll come talk about the results tomorrow. We love what's going on. Coas Shooters will take on Borno Spiders. Owena Kings will take on Nigeria Prisons. Kada Stars versus Lagos Seasiders. Plateau Vipers will go against Sokoto Rima. It's Kano Pillars versus Niger United, while the Defenders will play Safety Shooters. What the men can do, the women can do a lot better. Katsina Queens will take on Plateau Peacocks. Abia Valiants will take on Owena Queens. Kada Stars versus Imo Grasshoppers. Let's see if Imo Grasshoppers can sustain the momentum. Defender Babes versus Seasider Babes, while Edo Dynamos will be hoping to bounce back from that loss to Imo Grasshoppers when they take on Safety Babes. Sports Tonight on Channels Television, still talking about the National Handball League. Let's go to Abuja studio now. The tech director of the Handball Federation of Nigeria, Moses Balogun, is standing by to talk to us. We want to understand the technicalities of putting this league together and what are the gains for the development of the sport in the country. So if Moses Balogun is ready, we'll just dash to our studio in Abuja. Good to have you on Sports Tonight, tech director. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Austin. I'm pleased to see you and to talk to you this evening.
Awesome. Good to have you too on the show. So let's get your perspective as the technical guy with what you've seen. Are we making progress with the National Handball League?
Yes, we are making a very tremendous progress in the National Premier League, sponsored by Prudent Energy Oil. And for the past 10 years, this is the first time handball is returning back to its glory, and we are pleased to have that under the present leadership of the President of the Handball Federation of Nigeria, Sam Ochil.
Talk to me about the teams, the quality of play, the coaching. In all, is it a win-win for handball in Nigeria?
Yes, in every department of the game in this championship, there's no team that you can underrate. They are very good. We have 12 male team and 10 female team. And from the result we have at present in the day 6, we are not even sure of the team that is likely to win, despite the fact that this is the first phase of the championship. In a situation where you see the almighty Grasshopper lost their match today to a team, and in the male category, Niger United lost their match to Civil Defense, which has never happened before. And you see in a league where Lagos Seasiders beat the Grasshopper and Edo Dynamos female team beat Lagos Seasiders, and Lagos Seasiders lost to another team. So it's dicey. We cannot see. The game is open. The league is open. Very standard, very high. For the past 10 years, this is the first time I can see a very high-level performance of handball in Nigeria.
Sounds good. So, Technical Director, with this league, can we confidently run to it and get good players that can represent Nigeria?
Honestly, we are getting to the right path. We are getting to the right path. I can say it from the last record, in the last championship of the ITF Trophy, we played at Niger. The national under-20 male team came first. The national under-17 team came first. And from what we are having now, there's discovery of new players, and there's hope for Nigeria, and there's hope for Nigeria.
I must say thank you so much, Moses Balogun, Technical Director, Handball Federation of Nigeria. We appreciate you for giving us your time. And so that's it. We'll continue to monitor what's going on with the National Handball League. We like it. One of a kind for handball in the country. And the Technical Director says, look, there are a lot of gains in this. It can help the national team. We're also using it to discover new talents. And of course, our coaching and other technicalities are also checked with the league. Sports Tonight on your award-winning sports-loving Channels Television. Let's go on this break. When we come back, what's going on with Arsenal and Atletico Madrid? We'll tell you and talk so much more. Don't go anywhere. Stay.